So I'm going to start by saying that you should be careful what you say, as you never know how life might turn out. Things rarely ever turn out the way that you expect them to, and it never hurts to be kind. My name is Mo, and this is a story of someone that I knew that wishes that they had been told this years ago. I don't think that they would have listened to the good advice, but stranger things have happened. It all started when I graduated from university, and I was just getting started in the world of business. I wasn't sure who would hire me, so I just applied to every place that I could, and I did manage to get an interview with Jumpstart Incorporated. They were a large company that made batteries. It honestly didn't sound like that fascinating of a company, but I needed the experience, and so I went to the interview dressed in my best suit and tried as hard as I could to make a good impression. The ad online had said that they were hiring 10 entry-level positions, and as I looked around the waiting room, where they had gathered all the hopeful candidates together, I saw that the people around me were all around my age. There were some men and women, as well as all ethnicities. As they began to call people in, though, I started to recognize a pattern, and it didn't bode well for me. I noticed that the people that were white were leaving their interviews smiling and energetic, and everyone else that was black like me left either angry or nearly in tears. And then it was my turn, and I went into the office and was determined to do my best. It was a small office, and sitting behind the table was a man who was only about 10 years older than myself, but he was clearly some kind of manager. "Hi there, my name is Mo, and I wanted to thank you for this opportunity to interview for your company." "Oh, hi Mo. Well, I need to let you know that we'll be doing a police clearance, and that you will need to have a valid driver's license. Is that so?" "That won't be a problem. I have a perfect record, and I do have a license." "Well, I doubt that, but hey, there's always a first for everything. Also, we don't tolerate being late. Is that something that you struggle with as well?" I could tell that he was implying that I fit the stereotypes of most black men that he had invented in his brain, and that there was no way that he was going to hire me. The reactions from the previous applicants were beginning to make a lot more sense now. I am a very early riser, and I am also very punctual too. "Okay, well, I don't think that you'll like our cafeteria too much though. They don't serve fried chicken and watermelon, nor do our vending machines have grape soda or bananas." I could tell by the smug look on his face that he was enjoying what he was saying, and that he knew full well that everything he was saying was incredibly racist. He just didn't care. "Are you serious? How dare you say such horrible things? You know, one day you'll live to regret saying stuff like that." "Ha! I don't think that I will. Listen, bud, the fact of the matter is that if you want to work at this company, then you must go through me, and I have never hired anyone that wasn't white. We just make better employees after all." I had had enough, and so I just stood up and left without saying another word, although I could hear him laughing in the background as I left. I was so angry that I could barely see straight, but then the next day, an ad was posted by Lightspeed Limited. They were a rival company to Jumpstart Incorporated, and there was a lot of buzz about how they were a much better company to work for. I was hesitant to apply, as I had a sour taste in my mouth from my interview with Jumpstart. It had been such a terrible situation, but in the end I applied, and I was called in for an interview. I waited no more than 1 minute when a Japanese woman came out and then escorted me to her office to begin the interview. It was so incredibly different than my last one. She actually asked me questions and gave constructive feedback on my responses. In the end, she offered me a job working in research and development, which I jumped at. I didn't really know much about the position, but she was convinced that I would be a perfect fit. The first day that I showed up, I met Singh, and we hit it off right away. My job was to keep him motivated and on task, while monitoring the things that he was developing, and report to our superiors on what he had created. It was my job to sell the ideas that he came up with, and Singh always had something new that he promised would revolutionize everything. He was constantly trying to reinvent the wheel. Years passed, and our team did extremely well. Until one day, Singh did it. He designed a battery that tripled the power of any battery on the market, and was cheaper to produce as well. Our company invested a lot of money in his ideas, and it paid off. Everyone was buying our brand of batteries only, and our competitors were hurting as a result. The owners of our company took this as an opportunity to remove their rivals by buying them out. It was a good time for Singh and I as we were given the positions as senior managers of our department. Part of that meant hiring a lot of people to fill new roles in the company, as it was expanding quite a bit. Sadly, most of the people that were applying were from our rival companies. Our technology worked so well that many of them were either going out of business or were making massive cutbacks. I felt a bit guilty about this. That is, until I saw one of the names on the interview list. There was a Jason from Jumpstart Incorporated. When I saw that, I knew that I had to personally interview him, and so I set it up. The look on his face when he saw me on the other side of the desk was priceless. I honestly thought that he was going to just turn around and leave without saying a word, but he sat down instead and put the fakest smile he could on his face. To me, that showed that he was desperate and that he really needed this job. So Jason, can you tell me about yourself? I was determined to mess with him as much as possible before I told him that there was no way we would ever hire someone as racist and cruel as him. Well, I'm a good leader, and I am good at keeping my team within budget, and have successfully done so for the last 10 years at my former job. Is that so? Well, I doubt that. Something tells me that you tend to overspend, actually. It's probably why your company went under. Well, no, that wasn't remotely my fault. Your company just made a better product, and so mine let quite a few of us go. So you were fired then? Well, yeah, but only because your company stole so much of our business. Oh, it was quite fun to see him squirming. So Jason, how much do you need this job really? Well, you see, I really need this job. After working with Jumpstart, I've had a hard time finding a job anywhere else. I've eaten through most of my savings, and my landlord has been hounding me my rent money. That sounds really hard. I wonder how many black men were living in a similar situation, and you didn't show them mercy or give them a chance. Now, why is that? Well, you see, it's just that, well, I wanted to create a healthy work environment that would motivate people. Is that so? Well, sadly, you won't be doing that here. Oh, don't tell me that you're still holding a grudge after all these years. When will you people ever grow up? If you honestly expect me to hire you on, after all the nonsense you rattled off the first time we met, then you are delusional. But don't worry, I won't be sending you home empty-handed. I slid a banana and a can of grape soda across the table to him. Here you are. It's not much, but at least when you're waiting in the unemployment line, you'll have something to snack on. Oh, and you should know that I blacklisted your name as well. There isn't a company in this city that will hire you now. And with that, he jumped up from his chair and stormed out of the office. I had clearly struck a nerve, and rather than get confrontational, he had decided to just leave. Which was for the best, really. After all, I had security guards on standby, just in case he had chosen to do something stupid. I had heard through the grapevine that he couldn't find a job in our industry due to my blacklisting him, and was forced to work at a furniture store, and the best part is that his boss is a woman that I know who is black. She told me that he hasn't said anything improper, but he does give her dirty looks. I also heard that his fiancée dumped him. Somehow, someone caught Jason being racist in public and posted it online. People on social media attacked both Jason and his fiancée, and after a few weeks, she couldn't take it anymore, and she left him. And since she had been the breadwinner in their relationship, Jason now was hard up for cash and was forced to sell his car and house as he could no longer afford payments on them. As for me, well, thanks to Singh's brilliance, our team kept doing better and better, and I'm happy to say that both of us are now on the board of directors together. That day when I applied to Jumpstart, I had no idea that I would be where I am today, and honestly, as aggravating as meeting Jason was, I'm happy with how things turned out. Thanks for watching. Please like the video.